What is up, guys? It's the Dark Phoenix Gamer here. Today I have another deck profile for you. This time it's Yu-Gi-Oh once again, and this time we have Crusadias. I actually really enjoy this deck, as it basically relies on your opponent having a lot of monsters, well, high-powered monsters as well as you. It can pull off some really cool combos, but overall I just have a lot of fun with this deck. I haven't built it like a lot of other people have. If you have any things to say about it, any ways you think I can improve it, let us know. But as I say, I've had a lot of fun with this deck, and this is the way that I've found that it works best for me. For the fact that I don't play competitively, I play for fun, and yeah, this is my deck profile, and let's get straight into it. So to start off with the main deck for monsters, I run 3 Crusadia Maximus. Crusadia Maximus is one of the key cards, as it is the level 4 psychic, and also because of its effect. All of the Crusaders have the first effect where you can special summon it to a zone that link monster points to in defense position. You only do it once per turn that way. But with Maximus, its second effect, you can target a Crusadia link monster you control. If it battles an opponent's monster, it does double battle damage. And also other Crusadia monsters you control can't attack. All of the Crusaders have this restriction, I believe, but yeah, Crusadia Maximus at 3 for the fact of it's one of the key cards, and also just the fact that almost all the Crusaders are run at 3. In fact, you hit them more often, and it just helps with the consistency. So yeah, 3 Crusadia Maximus. Next is 3 Crusadia Leonis. Leonis is a level 3 Crusadia. Again, it has the special summon effect. However, this one's secondary effect is you can target a Crusadia link monster, and if it attacks the defense position, it deals piercing damage. So say your opponent's using a deck like, I don't know, super heavies. You have Maximus and Leonis on field. If you can hit over the defense position, you can deal piercing damage and deal double damage. So it really helps out. So yeah, 3 Leonis, as it's more Crusadias to go into the more link monsters later on in the game. Next is 3 Crusadia Draco. Now this is definitely a must for a 3 of. It special summons itself, and also if it's special summoned to a zone a link monster points to, so instead of targeting a link monster, it's when it's special summoned to a zone, you can target 1 Crusadia card in your graveyard and add it to your hand. So basically it's, I'd say Monster Reborn, but it's not. It's literally you just add a Crusadia from your graveyard to your hand as soon as you special summon it to a zone like monster points to. I forget what card already does that, but yeah, definitely a card to run at 3. Next up is 2 Reclusias. I don't run this one at 3, simply for the fact of when it's special summoned to a zone, it targets a Crusadia card you control and 1 card your opponent controls and destroys it. So what I tend to do is special summon to a zone that link monster points to, target itself and another card, and destroy them both. So it's basically just 1 card, Buggy Break, I believe. So you just target itself and a card your opponent controls, destroy them. So special summon it, destroy them. Simple as. So I only run it at 2. And lastly, for the Crusadia main deck monsters, 1 Arborea. Arborea is a tuner, and it's the reason why I only run it at 1. It's the only one that actually protects anything while it's in graveyard. So if a Crusadia monster I control would be destroyed with battle or card effect, I can banish it from my graveyard instead, or from my field. But I don't use it for that effect, I only use it for the fact it's a tuner. So that's all the Crusadia monsters in this deck, well, main deck. Now for the other monsters, pardon me, 2 World Legacy World Crowns. World Legacy World Crown is good because it also special summons itself, if it's going to focus. There we go. It also special summons itself to a zone link monster points to. And when a monster on the field that was special summoned from the activates its effect, you contribute this card, negate activation, and destroy that card. And if this normal summoned card, well, normal summoned / set card is distributed, add a World Legacy spell trap card from your deck to your hand. I don't think I run any World Legacy, actually no, I run one, which I'll get into later. But it's a level 6, so you're rarely ever going to normal summon it. The other World Legacy card I run is World Legacy World Lands. It's the other monster I run. It's effective, I'll focus up. What that? Come on, if you want to focus. There. It doesn't special summon itself to a zone a link monster points to, but there is a way of bringing it out with this deck. During damage calculation, if a link monster battles an opponent's monster, or battles a monster, I can discard this card. The opponent's battling monster loses 3000 attack. And if a monster is special summoned from the extra deck, special summon one World Legacy token to both players' fields in Defense Edition. The World Legacy monsters are mainly included just for their attack points, because World Crown has 2000 attack and World Lance has 3000. The reason behind that will be explained when I go into the link monsters. Lastly, for the main deck monsters, is the engine that I decided to run instead of what everyone else I've seen tends to run. What I've seen other people run is the Kaiju engines, which is fair enough, because you tribute one of your opponent monster, and you choose the zone that the monster goes to. However, I have decided to run Time Lords instead. So I'm running Michian, Sandayan, and Cephalon. Simply the fact that sometimes, if with this card, it's mainly you go into one thing, build a board, and if they break through it, you've got nothing left. So with these, if I control no monsters, I can normal summon them without tributing them. So if they break my board, I can just bring one of these out. Obviously, Michian halves your opponent's life points. Sandayan deals 2000 damage. But Cephalon's the better. Cephalon is the best one, in my opinion, for this deck. Simply for the fact, if you have 10 or more monsters in your graveyard, you can special summon it from your hand. And also you can special summon level 8 or higher fairy monster from your hand or graveyard. And its effect negated and its attack becomes 4000. So essentially what you can do is go through your entire turn, and then if your opponent manages to break that, special summon this, and then say if you have one of these in hand, special summon it, and then next turn if you have a machine in hand, special summon this. So you have 4000 attack, well, beat sticks on field, and then your opponent can't really do much against it, although I haven't really gotten that effect off. But I run it just like for the Michian and Sandayan. Haven't got Cephalon off yet, but it's still a fun thing to do. Next up for the spells, we have 2 Crusadia Revivals. Crusadia Revival is the field spell. Its effect is all Crusadia-like monsters you control gain 500 attack. It wants to focus. There. And once per turn, you can target one Crusadia-like monster you control. During this turn, even if this card is the field, you can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each, and other monsters you control can't attack. So it's really handy for the Link 3 players, where you just use this to have it attack everything, with Maximus dealing double damage and Leonis being able to deal piercing. So you can attack everything and just deal a really high amount of damage in a single turn. Next up is Crusadia Power. Run 2 of them. Crusadia Power, you can target one Crusadia monster you control. That Crusadia monster is unaffected by card effects this turn except its own effects. So really it's a counter to like maybe an effect veil or a skill drain. It's useful. That the only reason I run it 2 is because obviously it prevents it from being affected by Maximus, Leonis, and Revival. But it's helpful in case it's like a forbidden chalice, forbidden lance, stuff like that. Next up, I run 2 Parallel Panzers. Parallel Panzer is just a funny card in my opinion. Its effect is equip only to a link monster, and once per turn you can move the equipped monster to a main monster zone it points to on the controller's field. So say you have a Link Karibo for some reason, or somehow, you can literally equip to this and then move the Link Karibo down to the zone it points to. second effect is you can send this equipped card to the graveyard, destroy one card in the same column as the monster it was equipped with, this card. So say you have a Sayuja. You can put it here, put it down to here, and then destroy a card in the same column as this. Use 2 because we don't really run equipped cards in this deck, and also Parallel Panzer is just a fun card to use. And as I say, this is a fun deck, not competitive, so you can build it any way you want, but this is just my way. So yeah, 2 Parallel Panzers. Next up is Slash Draw. Run 2 Slash Draws. Most people might run like most people run 2 or 3. I run 2 just the fact it can constantly recycle itself. You discard a card, send cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard equal to the number of cards your opponent draws. Then draw the top card of your deck and show it to your opponent. If it's Slash Draw, you send it to the graveyard, and if you do, destroy as many cards on the field as possible, and then inflict 2000 damage to your opponent for each card destroyed and sent to the graveyard by this effect. If the card you drew was not Slash Draw, shuffle cards from your graveyard into your deck equal to the number of cards sent from your deck to the graveyard by this effect. So the reason why I only play 2 is because if I manage to get it up and draw Slash Draw, I've just destroyed all my opponent's stuff and then inflict 2000 damage to my opponent. But if I don't, then if I have say 15 cards in my graveyard, I've sent 5. I can choose 5 of those 20 cards now in the graveyard. So any of those 20 cards, I can choose 5 and put them back in the deck, because it doesn't specify that it has to be the 5 cards you sent, which is why I like Slash Draw. And for the rest of the spells are just random spells that actually work in the deck, such as Foolish Burial, send a monster from your deck to the graveyard. Link Bound, target one link monster you control in your graveyard, return it to the extra deck, and if you do, draw cards equal to its link rating, then place cards from your hand on the bottom of the deck in any order equal to the number of cards you drew. And I really like the art for this. Next, we have Pinpoint Landing. I really like the art for Pinpoint Landing. It's literally just a guy skydiving, I believe. Its effect is if exactly one monster is special summoned from the hand to your field, you can draw a card. And you can only use this effect once per turn. And also, if you have not drawn a card by this effect this turn, you send this card to the graveyard. Only bad part about this card is if you can't special summon it, this card leaves the field, which means since I only have one copy of it, I only have one chance. I really have to draw every turn, otherwise I'll lose my chance to do it every other turn. But it's decent enough. It's a good card, and obviously it's a continuous spell. Yeah, run this at 1. Not for any particular reason, apart from the fact that it's just a fun card. Next, MST. Obviously, 90% of people know what MST is. You can Mystical Space Typhoon, but you can target one spell traffic on the field and destroy that target. Next is One Day of Peace. One Day of Peace is simply each player draws a card and then neither player takes damage until the end of the opponent's next turn. So it's good for getting an extra hand and then not taking damage until the end of your opponent's next turn. Finally, for the spells, Monster Reborn. I'm actually really glad this got brought off the ban list, because now we just have straight up Monster Reborn, and it's actually really good in a lot of decks now. So it's good that it got brought back, but also it's not at the same time. Just the fact that if you kill your opponent's main monster and it's their best, all they have to do is just draw a Monster Reborn, activate it, and it's back and it's a problem again. Obviously everyone knows what Monster Reborn is. You target a monster in either player's graveyard and special summon it. Now onto the traps. We have 2 Crusadia Vanguard. Crusadia Vanguard's effect is when you activate this card, you can also tribute a Crusadia or World Legacy monster. And if you did tribute, you can special summon a Crusadia or World Legacy monster with a different original name from your deck or graveyard to that of the one you tributed. Its main effect, if you didn't tribute, well, whether you tribute or not, it also has the effect of while you control a Crusadia link, your opponent's monsters can only target link monsters for attacks, and you can only activate one Crusadia Vanguard per turn. So I run at 2, simply for the fact of the tribute effect. Would have run at 1 if it didn't have that tribute effect, but obviously it is a good card because it allows you to just activate it, tribute a Crusadia or World Legacy, and special summon another one. So yeah, 2 Crusadia Vanguards. Next, 2 Mirror Force. Mirror Force, when an opponent's monster declares an attack, destroy all opponent's attack position monsters. Handy in a sticky situation if you don't have the cards you need, just set down a Mirror Force and wait a turn. So yeah, 2 Mirror Force. Next is 2 Drowning Mirror Force. This, when your opponent monster declares a direct attack, shuffle all your opponent's attack position monsters into the deck. So again, what I was saying about the time lords earlier, if your opponent gets over your main monster and you have this set, shuffle them all back in, and then on your next turn you can go into the time lords. So they work well together. Next is World Legacy Awakens. This is the only World Legacy spell trap I have. Its effect is, immediately after this effect resolves, link summon 1 link monster using the monsters you control as material. So it's essentially an Axel link. Because obviously with Axel Synchro, or Axel Synchron, you can synchro on your opponent's turn. With this you can link on your opponent's turn, which I really like. Next, Shield Handler. I don't really use this that much, but its effect is whenever a card effect is activated that will destroy a monster on the field, except during the damage step, target 1 link monster on each field, negate the effect of your opponent's targeted monster, and if you do, equip this card to your targeted monster. The equipped monster cannot be destroyed by card effects. So since this is a link deck, I decided to put this in to protect my link monsters if Arbora is no longer in grave. So it's actually sometimes handy. I've only really used it a couple of times, but it's in there to make the space really. Finally for the traps, Solemn Judgment. I would put Solemn 1, but I don't have one, so Solemn Judgment I'll have to do for now. When a monster will be summoned or a spell trap card is activated, pay half your life points, negate the summoner activation, and if you do, destroy that card. Handy, but obviously with the whole pay half your life points thing, I preferred if it was Solemn Warning, say just pay 2,000 life points. But obviously it's a Solemn at the end of the day, and it does its job. So that's all of the main deck. Now onto the extra deck. I run 3 Crusadia Magius. Crusadia Magius is a link 1 with 100 attack. Spellcaster, it requires 1 Crusadia monster except itself. All the Crusadia links gain attack equal to the original attack of the monster this card, of the monsters it points to, and the monster this card points to monsters it points to can't attack. If an effect monster is special summoned to the zone this card points to, except during the damage step, you can add a Crusadia monster from your deck to your hand. So that's actually really good to go further into your link plays. So 3 Magius. Next, 1 Regulus. I did originally run this at 3, but obviously with the new one that's just come out in, I believe it was Soul Fusion. This requires 2 effect monsters including a Crusadia, so you're probably going to go Magius with another thing into this. Its effect, obviously it gains the attack of all the combined attack of monsters it points to. Monsters it points to can't attack. And if an effect monster is special summoned to the zone this card points to, you can add a Crusadia spell or trap from your deck to your hand. So Crusadia Vanguard, Crusadia Power, Crusadia Revival. And this is a beast linked to with 1,000 attack. And also it points up and down. In Crusadia Magius it only points down. So next, for the other link 2 that I have, Crusadia Spatha. Spatha is good because it points down and left, so if you have something pointing down, you can link 2 here, and then you get the links on to the left. Effect, well, it requires 2 effect monsters including Crusadia, same as Regulex. However, its effect is a bit different. Instead of adding a Crusadia spell or trap, you can target 1 monster in either player's main monster zone, except this card, and move it to another main monster zone on its controller's field. So essentially it's like Mech Knight, but instead of you moving your own stuff, you can move your opponent's stuff as well. So this could potentially work well against Magical Musketeers and Mech Knights. I'm not sure, I haven't won in that matchup yet. I mean, I'd like to do it, but... And finally for the Crusadia links, 2 Crusadia Echomax. Echomax is basically the boss monster of this deck. This is the only Cyberse Crusadia I believe we have. So Link 3 with 2000 attack. It requires 2 plus effect monsters, including a Link monster. Its effect, obviously, it gains the combined original attack of all monsters points down to the left and to the right and up as well, which is where people run. This is why people run the Kaiju engine, but I run Time Lords, obviously. Its effect is once per turn, you can tribute one Crusadia or World Legacy monster it points to, target one face-up card your opponent controls, and negate its effect at the end of the turn. So yeah, 2 Crusadia Echomax. I would run 3, but you don't really need 3 because Echomax can end a game in a single turn. And for the rest of my extra deck, run 1 Topologic Bomber Dragon, because it's a Link 4 that requires 2 plus effect monsters. Its effect is if another monster is special summoned to a zone a Link monster points to while this monster is on the field, destroy all monsters in the main monster zones. Also, your other monsters cannot attack for the rest of this turn. After damage calculation, if this card attacked an opponent's monster, inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's original attack. So it's already a 3000, so it's beating over most things, and then again you're dealing. Basically, you're always going to deal 3000 points of damage, so it's always good. Next is Saryuja Skulldread. This point's the same as Topologic, up and then all 3 down. It has 2800 attack. Its effect is it requires 2 plus monsters with different names, and depending on the amount of materials used for its Link summon, if you use 2 or more. If a monster is normal special summoned to a zone this card points to, that monster gains 300 attack and defense. And then if you use 3 or more, once per turn you can special summon 1 monster from your hand. And if you used 4, when this card is Link summoned, you can draw 4 cards and then place 3 cards from your hand on the bottom of your deck in any order. So handy. It used to be Firewall, but obviously Firewall is now banned, unfortunately. So I've swapped it for Saryuja. Next up is Borreload Dragon. Points left and right, both straight across and down. Its effect is, it requires 3 plus effect monsters, and neither player can target this card with monster effects. Once per turn, you can target one face-up monster on the field. It loses 500 attack and defense. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to this effect's activation. At the start of the damage steps, shall I say, if this card attacks an opponent's monster, you can place that opponent's monster in a zone this card points to and take control of it. However, you send it to the graveyard during the end phase of the next turn. So say you have a Borreload, your opponent has a Saryuja, you swing at the Saryuja with a Borreload, take control of Saryuja, and then send Saryuja to the graveyard. So really handy. Next is Borrelguard. Borrelguard is essentially the same as Borreload, except it cannot be destroyed by card effects, and once per turn you can send 1 card from your spawn trap card zone to the graveyard, special summon from either graveyard to your field. One monster that was destroyed and sent to this turn, but negate its effect. Once per turn you can target 1 monster on the field, change it to face-up defense position. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to this card's activation. So it's okay, haven't really went into it much, it's just for the Link arrows to be honest, but yeah, Borrelguard as well. Next is Topologic Gunblower Dragon, only for the Link arrows, don't really use its secondary effect. Its effect. Basically, you can discard 1 or 2 random cards when monster special summon to zone Link monster points to while it's on the field. Your opponent discards the same amount. If it's extra linked, and your opponent has at least 1 card in the hand, you can make your opponent discard 1 or 2 cards, whichever is higher, and if they have no more cards in hand, inflict 3000 points of damage to them. So essentially you can kill them with this card just by making them discard, which is really handy. For the last Link monster, I use Underclock Taker for the fact it's a Link 2 that you can easily bring out with 2 effect monsters. Once per turn you can target 1 face-up monster this card points to, and 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. The opponent's target loses attack equal to the attack of the target this monster points to until the end of this turn. And lastly, for my extra deck, the only reason I run a tune in this deck is for Clearwing. 2500 attack, 2000 defense, 1 tuner and 1 plus non-tuner monsters. Obviously it's a level 7, so you go Arborea and Maximus. When another level 5 or higher monster activates effects on the field, you can negate the activation if you do destroy it. Once per turn, when a monster effect is activated that targets 1 level 5 or higher monster on the field, and note the cards. You can negate the activation, and if you do destroy it, if this card effect destroys a monster, this card gains attack equal to the destroyed monster's original attack until the end of the turn. So, another really good card for this deck. And yeah, that's all of my Asher deck. So yeah, this has been my Crusadia deck profile. If you enjoyed, let us know down in the comments. Leave a like if you want. Subscribe to see more videos like this when I can bring more out. Let us know what you want to see next. If you want to see us do more deck profiles, or if you want to see us do actual duels, different types of deck profiles, so like Vanguard, maybe, I don't know, if I ever get into a bully fight, Magic Gathering, if I for some reason get into that. Yeah, let us know if this has been helpful. Obviously, you don't have to build a deck like this. This is my version. I've built this to play for fun, because I'm not a competitive player per se. But yeah, this has been my Crusader deck profile. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye.